You've been trying to push this feeling away, but it keeps coming back, doesn't it? That quiet sense that something is about to change, not in a dramatic, obvious way, but in a way that feels deeper, almost like something inside you is shifting before anything outside is caught up yet. You've been going through your days carrying this weight that you can't fully explain. It's not just stress. It's not just tiredness. It's something more internal, like a pressure building beneath the surface. And the hardest part is you haven't really talked about it. You've kept it to yourself because even you don't fully understand what you're feeling. You've been holding this in quietly, wondering why things that used to motivate you now feel distant, why your patience has been thinner, why your mind keeps going back to the same thoughts over and over again. Pause for a moment. Think about how long this has been building. It didn't start all at once. It came gradually. Small frustrations, small disappointments, moments that didn't go the way you expected. And you adapted. You told yourself to stay strong, to keep moving, to not let it affect you. But underneath that strength, something has been shifting. You're starting to feel the weight of everything you've been carrying without fully processing it. You're starting to realize that pushing through is not the same as moving forward. And that realization is uncomfortable. Because part of you wants to keep things the way they are. Familiar, predictable, even if it doesn't fully feel right anymore. But listen carefully, this discomfort is not a setback. It is the beginning of a breakthrough. This matters. You're not stuck. You are in transition. And transitions don't always feel clear when you're inside them. They feel like confusion. They feel like uncertainty. They feel like something is ending without knowing exactly what is beginning. You may notice that things around you feel slower, delayed, like nothing is moving as quickly as you want it to. And that delay can feel frustrating because you're ready for something to change, but you don't know what or how. You've been asking yourself questions you don't have answers to, wondering if you're on the right path, wondering if you've missed something, wondering if you should be doing more or doing something different. But pause for a moment. What if this stillness is intentional? What if this is not a delay, but a preparation? Because this is where things begin to shift, not outside first, but within you. And this is where Archangel Michael steps in, not to suddenly change everything around you, but to strengthen something inside you that needs to be ready for what's coming next. You may not see it yet, but there's been a clearing happening. Old patterns, old ways of thinking, old attachments that were quietly holding you back are starting to loosen. And that process doesn't feel easy. It feels like restlessness. It feels like uncertainty. It feels like something is being taken away before something new is given. But listen carefully. Nothing meant for you is being lost. What is being removed is what could not go with you into what is coming. As it is written, "See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" Isaiah 43 verse 19. This new thing is not fully visible yet, but you are beginning to feel it, not as clarity, but as tension between where you are and where you're being led. You're starting to outgrow something, even if you can't fully define what it is. And that outgrowing creates discomfort because it requires you to release what once felt normal. You may notice that your thoughts are becoming more reflective. You may find yourself questioning things you once accepted without hesitation. You may feel less interested in things that used to hold your attention. And you might wonder, why does everything feel so different? But listen carefully, this is not loss. This is alignment. You are being shifted into a different space, one that requires a different version of you. And that version of you is still forming. This is the turning point. This is where the breakthrough begins, not as a sudden external change, but as an internal shift that will eventually reshape everything around you. Archangel Michael is not just removing obstacles. He is preparing you to move differently when those obstacles are gone. You have been slowed down for a reason. You have been made to reflect for a reason. You have been placed in this in-between space for a reason. Because if everything had changed too quickly, you would have carried the same patterns into a new situation, and that would have kept you in the same cycle. But now, something is different. You're starting to see more clearly. You're starting to feel more deeply. You're starting to understand what truly matters to you, beyond expectations, beyond pressure, beyond what others think you should be doing. As it is written, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14, verse 14. This stillness is not inactivity. It is preparation. It is clarity forming beneath the surface. It is strength being built quietly so that when the moment comes to move, you're not moving out of pressure, but out of alignment. You don't need to force anything right now. You don't need to rush the process. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is not something you need to chase. It is something that is unfolding step by step, even when you cannot see the full picture yet. And soon, you will begin to notice the shift. Small at first, a sense of clarity where there was confusion, a sense of direction where there was uncertainty, opportunities that feel different, more aligned, more natural. And when that happens, it will not feel forced. It will feel right, because you will be ready for it in a way you weren't before. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like nothing is moving, if you've been questioning whether anything is changing at all, understand this: something is happening. It's just not happening in the way you expected. And that doesn't mean it's not real. It means it's deeper. It means it's lasting. And it means it's preparing you for something that requires a different version of you than the one you've been holding on to. If this message feels like it's speaking to exactly where you are right now, you don't need to explain it to anyone. You can simply acknowledge it quietly. Even writing 333 as a small confirmation to yourself that you are in the middle of a shift, even if it doesn't fully make sense yet. Stay patient, stay aware, and trust that this moment, as uncertain as it feels, is not the end of something. It is the beginning of something you're finally ready for.